with roofing companies to generate a predictable stream of roofing leads directly from their websites with a precise to the dollar cost acquisition. So what I'm about to tell you and what I'm about to show you, what I'm about to highlight are the 3 best performing campaigns that consistently bring at least a minimum of 37 leads a month directly to your competitors or you. Now, if you meet the following criteria, then this can actually work really, really well for you. The first is that you run a small business, employing from 4 to 50 people. Now, obviously, we actually appreciate that over 53% of roofing companies, of roofing businesses, employ less than 4 people. That's okay. Some of the strategies can work for you just as well. Number 2, and this one actually seems kind of obvious, but you and your team can actually handle more leads. Because if you can't, there's not much point in engaging in our service. You're just going to waste money, and that's not good for either of us. Number 3, your average customer is worth at least £800 to you. Number 4, you operate in an area with a general population that is greater than 200,000 people. So let me ask you, what is stopping your business from growing? Really? What's preventing you from having peace of mind? And what's limiting you from better quality clients that, you recognize you actually deserve? You see, every roofing business owner has their own challenges. They have their own problems, we all do, I get it. But the thing is, what we hear most often is the competition. You're competing against other roofing companies in your area. Now, everybody knows that discounting just kills the business. Naturally, the solution is to focus more on advertising, on investing your money. Now, maybe you've done it in the past and you've chosen direct mail and flyers, or maybe you've been advertising in Yellow Pages and on the radio. The problem with that is you're still competing against other companies doing the same thing as you. Secondly, there's no real way of actually gauging how much they've worked and how much you had to spend to actually get 10 new clients from those specific channels. They can be really unpredictable. What can you do then? Well, there is one option. There's a marketing channel that's massively underused in the roofing niche. The channel is AdWords, Google AdWords. Those ads that appear at the top of your page when you run a search. Now, we've audited hundreds of roofing websites, and honestly, the vast majority are doing AdWords wrong. My business partner, Camille, will talk to you shortly, and he'll walk you through the whole process in just a few seconds. You see, he has worked with AdWords in a few different industries, and the best results he got, well, they're in local service industry, just like you. Most specifically, the roofing industry. You see, it's a massive opportunity to get ahead of your competition and become the #1 roofing company in your local area. Because very few companies even know the strategy that you're about to be shown, and even less can actually pull it off with precision to deliver you the results that you want.
Hey there, Kevin Kaminski here. I'm going to show you what the process of turning a website visitor into a paying client looks like, 3 examples of high-converting Google AdWords campaigns in the roofing niche, and 3 biggest mistakes that most roofing companies are doing and how you can use that against them to get ahead of your competition. The reason why roofing is such a great niche to work with and why probably you get many emails or phone calls from marketing agencies that want to work with you is that the sales funnel for roofing is pretty simple. The prospect has a problem, they need the roof repaired or replaced. And where do they look for a solution these days? It's not Yellow Pages, it's on the internet, and surprisingly, half of the searches are made on their mobile phones, the other half on their computers and tablets. So the prospect opens a few different websites from the search results, usually from the top, and then they choose an offer they like and trust the most. They fill out the form, call the number from the website to set up the appointment. Here are 3 examples of roofing companies that are doing it very well on every step of the funnel. So in the first step, the prospect goes to Google and they look for a solution. They would type in something like roofing company near me, best roofing company, roof repair, storm damage, roof repair. And the first 4 positions usually are taken by ads. So the objective is to be somewhere here, but without spending more than other companies here. And there are a few factors that will determine that. Probably the most important one is how clickable your ad is. So let's take a look at example of 2 ads competing against each other in Google. Which one do you think is more clickable? Obviously, the first one. So there are a few key elements that will determine how good your ad is. So the first one is how easy it is to contact the company. So the first one has a phone number even right here. So if people have a big problem, and it's usually the case with roofing, they might even call at this point. They might not even open the website. So this company might be losing a few calls just because they didn't put their phone number. The second aspect is how trustworthy your ad looks. Again, the first one looks way better. They say we're 10 years in business. Here are our certifications and associations we are a member of. Here's our address. We are the real deal. Come visit us if you want. We're open until 5 p.m. The second ad doesn't really tell anything that would build trust. Another way to make sure you get more clicks than your competitors is to make sure that your ad copy is specific to the keyword. So take a look at the example. I've typed in flat roof replacement, London, and this title is almost the same as the keyword that I used. So subconsciously, I'm convinced that this is exactly what I'm looking for. That's why it's important to constantly work on your AdWords campaigns to find out the combinations of keywords that people use and create ad sets that would mirror those phrases. After the prospect clicks on one of the ads, they land on a website called a landing page. The only purpose of this landing page website is to make sure that as many prospects as possible contact your company. And there are a few proven strategies to design a Google AdWords landing page to convert the maximum percentage of visitors to leads, people contacting you, and I'll just show it on examples. So this is, in my opinion, one of the best examples of a landing page for roofing niche. So this service is a storm damage roof repair or roof replacement. So if I typed in something like storm damage, roof repair, roof replacement, and I landed here, then I would know exactly that I'm in the right place because the title is consistent with what I was looking for. Also, the picture tells me it's the service that I'm looking for as well. The most visible thing on this page is obviously the form with a big arrow pointing in this form. And in total, I think there are 6 different ways to contact this company. So there's this big form, there is this very visible yellow box, another button that's different than all the other links. And then we also have a big phone number at the bottom, another one right here, and the form again. Why? Well, as I mentioned, the only purpose of a landing page is to get the visitor to contact the company, and this page is doing that very, very well. Also, the call to action is very good. Instead of telling, hey, contact us, they say, see if you qualify for a free replacement roof, which is very specific to this service, which is a storm damage roof replacement. Another great point is that they have 2 ways to contact the company. Usually the visitors will fall into 2 categories: people who call the company right away and people who prefer to fill out the form. Also, if you visit this website after office hours, this is a way to leave your contact information so they will call you back. Secondly, the website says, here's what will happen after you contact us. So they will describe the process. If visitors are confused, if they're not sure what happens next, they are less likely to convert. They're less likely to become leads. And then the company goes on to describe all the benefits of working with them. So they say, look, we don't charge any money up front. We work with all the major providers of insurance, so there will be no hassle. So all the things that might be objections of a prospect who is about to contact this company, they answer it right here. They also say the inspection will be free, all those things. Then they move on and start building more trust. So they will pull real reviews dynamically from their Google profile and display them on their website. And it's very important that you just don't display random testimonials that might be fake, because people are more and more skeptical. So you have to make sure that there's a way that people will check if those reviews are real. And the company includes the form and the phone number at the bottom of the page as well. That's important because people facing a buying decision will read everything that's on the page. So they will scroll from the top to the bottom. So it's important to make sure that when they're at the bottom of the page, they have a way to contact you as well. Another example of a great landing page. The visitor who lands on your website who came from ads has never heard of you. So you need to build trust and authority in seconds and do a better job at it than your competitors. And this website does it really well. So they say we're #1 rated Atlanta roofing company, contractor. And also we offer a 10-year workmanship warranty. And also they say, hey, here are all the places where you can go and check out real reviews of people who we have worked with. So that's amazing. As I've already mentioned, people are very skeptical these days on the internet. So we need to make sure that they can go and check out if the reviews that you're posting on your website are real or not. And then in the middle of the page, they say it again. They include testimonials with pictures of real people, so the visitor can read like a story of a positive experience with this company, and also they include the links to those sites again. So that's their greatest asset, positive reviews. So they're building trust in an amazing way. And that's not all. So they will also post pictures of real people in front of their houses with new roofs on their website. So that's an amazing way to build credibility. Another good example. It's uncommon to click on an ad, read the information about the service, and then somewhere at the bottom you see that the company is operating on a totally different side of the country. That's why it's important that the site right away tells, hey, we are from Cincinnati. So the user who clicked on an ad, they know right away that they're in the right place. I like the fact that you have two different ways to contact them and also two different call to actions. So it shows that they clearly know their customer very well because they know that some of the people are ready and they just want to schedule an appointment right away. And other type of prospects would prefer to wait for an estimate first. And then they go on to building authority and trust. I cannot overstate how important that is with Google AdWords visitors who probably never heard about the company before. So they say they won the Angie's List Super Service Award in 8 consecutive years, which is a great way to build authority. And then again, they say they're A+ accredited BBB business. Now, if that's so easy, then why is not everyone successful with Google AdWords? Actually, AdWords are used by many small business owners, but most often their campaigns are simply not profitable, and it's just Google that makes money in this situation. AdWords didn't work for us, we weren't excited by the results. This is what I hear often from small business owners. And it's because 90% of companies are doing it wrong. They make at least one of the 3 following mistakes. Number 1, not answering the phone right away or not following up with the lead who filled out the form right away. Let me ask you this. Have you ever looked for a new hairdresser? You found a number online, you tried to call, but you couldn't connect? What did you do? You probably just called another hairdresser. When people look for a service online, they will likely open a few different websites. If you're not answering your phone, they simply call the next one. What about filled out forms? On landing pages, you've got a form and a phone number. In the roofing niche, depending on how you design your site, but usually around 25 inquiries will be filled out forms and 75% would be inbound calls. Those people, those prospects who fill out the form need to be contacted right away, ideally within 5 minutes. Studies show that leads contacted within 5 minutes respond 3 times better than leads contacted within 48 hours. So statistically speaking, you have 3 times better chances of closing a lead if you contact them within 5 minutes rather than just 48 hours. And I will explain later how you can technically make that happen. Another point is that 35 to 50% of sales go to the vendor that responded the fastest. So in a scenario when a prospect contacts different companies because they want to get estimates from different places, the company that will respond the fastest will increase their probability of closing that lead greatly. And then another thing that might be a huge risk to your business. So this is a screenshot of a company's website, and this company generally has amazing reviews, 4.7 out of 5, which is pretty great in a roofing niche. And they got a negative review for not responding to phone calls. So imagine the horror of waking up one day and getting a 1-star review just because you didn't get back to the prospect on time. So how can you make that happen technically to respond as soon as possible? So with the filled out forms, with the websites we create, we generally install a feature that will send a text message to you or your salesperson the second someone fills out the form. Secondly, we can even message the prospect, the lead, asking on behalf of you or your salesman when would be a convenient time to get a call back about setting up an appointment or whatever. Number 2, using the homepage instead of a dedicated landing page for Google AdWords campaigns. This is probably the biggest leak in the roofing sales funnel and, in my opinion, the main factor that can make or break the profitability of the campaign. If prospects who click on your ad land on your homepage, they're less likely to become leads because your homepage doesn't present the information in the right form or order that will drive the visitor towards the goal, which is contacting your company. To give you a better idea, this would be an example of a landing page that I mentioned before. And this one would be an example of a homepage that I've seen is used for Google AdWords. So obviously, there will be people who will come to this website and still will contact this company, but this website is making it much more difficult to tell the prospect what the service is all about, what the process will look like, contact the company, there's no form, etc. So simply, statistically, this website will bring less leads than a conversion-optimized landing page like that. So here are a few numbers. So if you use a business homepage for your Google AdWords campaigns, usually you will convert 4% of visitors to leads. So out of every 100 clicks, you will get 4 leads, 4 people contacting your company. A landing page usually would have 10% conversion rate. I've seen landing pages even with conversion rates even 25%, but let's stick with the more conservative number here. So for every 100 clicks, you're getting 10 leads. Now, if you pay $10 per click, which is a little bit expensive, but definitely possible in some more expensive competitive areas, then 100 clicks would cost you $1,000. So if you use a business homepage, you're paying $250 per each lead, which in a roofing niche is very steep and sometimes even not profitable at all. But if you use the landing page, then each lead would cost you suddenly $100, which becomes more profitable in a roofing niche. Mistake number 3 would be not tracking or optimizing your AdWords campaigns. Because an AdWords campaign is like a living organism that will evolve to be more and more profitable. But in order to do that, you need to learn which keywords people are typing in that bring sales and which are not. The second thing is proper tracking. If you use a properly set up analytics system and a call tracking system, you will know with a precision to a dollar how many leads you got from advertising and also how much you paid for them. That's why we set up a special number that redirects to your main phone number and we are able to track. At the end of the month, you get a detailed report with all the calls you got, which numbers called you, duration of those calls. So you can track back your sales to those calls to see how much revenue you got with the leads that we provided you. Now, we always make sure that for every dollar that you spend on leads with us, you get more than $1 in profit, 2, 3, 5, sometimes $10, depending on your margins, ability to close, reputation of your company, etc. So what results can you expect with this method? Google AdWords can become your #1 source of leads. Instead of relying on spray and pray marketing methods like flyers, radio, home shows, word of mouth, which is great but cannot be scaled, Google AdWords can give you 30 to 60 roofing leads each month, and you'll know upfront, with a precision to a dollar or pound, how much you'll spend on acquiring those leads. How do we work with roofing companies? After the strategy call, if we agree to work together, we start with a discovery package. In this package, you will get your first 10 leads, and we will set up everything. Landing pages, Google Analytics, tracking, your special phone number that we will track as well. So this is a lot of heavy lifting for us, but we're aiming for long-term cooperation. So we're ready to invest on our side if we see that your company could be a good fit for your service. So what you're paying for is this package in which you'll get 10 leads already. After the discovery period, if both sides decide to continue working together, we move to a monthly package. We agree on a number of leads that we will provide you each month with a fixed fee for each lead. This means you're only paying for results. At the end of each month, you can track down which sales you got from our leads so you can see the exact return on investment on our service, full transparency. We don't offer a marketing service with vague promises and questionable results. You know exactly what results you got with our service each month. If you think we would be a good fit to work together, click the button below to book a short strategy call with us. We'll answer all the questions that you might have. Worst case scenario, you're left with a few ideas you're free to steal. Have a great rest of the day. Thanks for watching.